Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Everyone is talking about Top Gun Maverick, and it's now the #1 movie in the world.
Outstanding.
It will leave you cheering.
Yes!
And is the ultimate summer movie experience.
Damn right.
Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick, rated PG-13.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
And oddly enough, you said, look, if an animal from the wild were to enter your house, within reason of where you live, what would you be cool with? Now, I went with the possum. I don't want a possum. It's just in my dealings with the critters around the house, that one seemed the most docile. But one person says a peacock. I'm going to tell you, you're crazy. I got chased by a peacock through like a cornfield.
They're mean.
They're mean as hell, and you hate to say it out loud. They're pretty goddamn scary when they're coming after you, man.
It's a big bird.
It's a big bird, and we couldn't quite see it. Years ago, our band was playing like a house party thing. These people, they owned a bunch of property, but to get from where you could park to their home, you had to walk through this tall grass field. We had been warned about the peacock, and at the time, we're like 18. I'm not sweating the peacock. All of us are going through the tall grass. I hear my buddy Tony scream. Keep in mind, we have band equipment. I hear my buddy Tony screaming, man, and I realized the peacock's chasing him. Now we're all terrified, and you could just see the grass. You couldn't see the peacock. You just saw the tall grass getting bent down as this thing got closer to you. It was a mean son of a bitch.
They are. There's one up in before I was going to a show, I said, just trying to duck out real quick and get high before you go to the line.
Sure.
So walked over into these trees with a buddy of mine. We start smoking up, look over. There's a peacock staring at us. We're like, what the hell's that thing doing here?
Didn't rush you.
No, it's just standing there. I'm like, what is he doing?
Why are you so big?
Why is there a peacock here? This is really good stuff, I guess.
Why does NBC like you so much? Mm-hmm. Someone else says, I take a raccoon because they're the most trainable and the least diseased. I did not know you could train a raccoon.
Oh, yeah, and they got little hands.
They got little hands. Yes, they do. That gives them an 80% right there. A couple people say bunnies. One person says, why not have the rabbits come in? Many people have them for pets. Worst case, they're delicious. Someone else says apparently 80% of the fox in Alaska carry rabies. Even a little nip in Needle City, you're getting vaccinated.
Ooh.
And someone says a marmot. That was you, Miles. Have you not seen The Big Lebowski?
I don't know.
I don't remember the marmot in Big Lebowski. Good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not alone. So
I think I'm switching to raccoon.
Yeah, most people seem to be saying, look, it's not that I want a raccoon, but apparently you can train a raccoon.
Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Billy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So mine's animal acquaintance.
All right.
And it's a possum, actually. And so 3:30 in the morning, I'm dead asleep, and somehow this possum gets between my insulation and my floorboards, and the thing gets stuck, and it's just flipping out. So I wake up to hissing and screaming. I go about a week and a half trying to trap this thing with a live trap. Finally catch it, after using different kinds of bait. I catch it on the way out. I come home ready to kill this thing. I'm gonna kill it. That's what I've decided to do. It's an intruder. And my family has now named this thing, so I can no longer kill it.
You can't say I killed Eddie.
Go
ahead.
I find myself later that day driving to a park to let it go at that point.
What did your family name the possum?
Perry the possum.
Oh, Perry the possum. And just quickly, what is good possum bait? What is it that they eat?
I finally caught it on sliced up apples, actually. I tried everything from tuna to cat food, and finally sliced apples caught it.
It took me about 5 or 6 different types of cheeses to figure out how to catch the mice in my apartment in Baltimore.
What cracked me up about that, so Miles would try these different things on the glue trap, and you would catch everything else in your house.
Yeah.
Other than mouse. Like, oh, you got spiders and silverfish, too.
And then a caller said, dude, just put a Cheeto on that. I was like, a Cheeto? It's like, I have no problem buying a bag of Cheetos. That's easy enough. Bought a bag of Cheetos. I mean, it was lightning quick how fast that thing was in that glue trap. You cannot deny a Cheeto.
I have a buddy who's not a big snacker of like snack foods.
Yeah.
But Cheetos are his thing.
Yeah, Cheetos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not cheese puffs. That's
No.
animal.
The crunchy Cheeto.
Yes, I think even a mouse would be like, I don't want a
the
cheese puff.
balls making a little bit of a resurgence. Have you noticed that?
I've
they're
seen
not
it.
good. They're terrible.
They're not bad. If it's been a while, man, you're like, you know what? This is pretty good.
I'm with
Stand
Miles.
down.
Generally, I prefer crunchy.
Me too.
But once in a while,
Yes.
I'll go puff. But now that it's in a ball, it's more exciting.
It is.
But it still tastes like crap.
Those big Costco-sized containers of cheese puffy balls,
I'm never a fan.
they
man.
excite me. If I see one on someone's counter, I'm like, oh, cheese puff balls.
And I don't know what it
can I
was
have
with my
some?
parents. We would ask for Cheetos. They would, once a month, they come home and think they got us a treat, and those big cheese puffs. Not in ball form, but just a big cheese
yeah.
puff. My brother and I hated
The
them.
original.
We're like,
Really?
Cheetos.
Huh.
Cheetos.
Well, I'm with you. As a kid, I hated puffs.
Yeah.
I don't think that Cheetos makes their original puff anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Do they still do that?
Oh, yeah.
They should
They have so
stop.
many jalapeno and hot with the crunchies.
They make it.
I just never seen them.
Ten knows.
Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Nick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, this was a few years ago. We just moved into a new house, me and two roommates, a guy and his girlfriend. And we had a party right around New Year's, or if it was I don't remember what the parties were. Anyways, we had a buddy of mine over, and I hadn't really seen him much since college. Well, I didn't know how much of a lightweight he was. We were taking some shots, and ended up finding him passed out outside. Well, my roommate's girlfriend, the other roommate, decided to help him come inside and lay down on the couch in it was going to be a video game room. Well, she was sitting there on the ground trying to get him kind of comfortable with a blanket or whatever. He all of a sudden just erupts with Cheeto-colored vomit everywhere. It hit the ceiling. It hit two walls. It went in her eyes. I mean, and then the story gets worse. So he falls asleep in there, wakes up the next morning. He's the most oblivious guy you'll ever meet. And he's just like, so what's going on today? What are we doing today, guys? And he asked to shower at my house. He sat there playing video games all day, never offered to clean it up, and then went home at about 5:30 that night.
So I guess he's not invited back.
Yeah, I almost just said his name. Yeah, he's not coming back over anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean,
Does he know that he's not invited back?
We really haven't reached out to him a whole lot.
Okay,
so
that was
probably not.
curious. Like, is it something you tell him, or is it just you kind of ghost his ass and they piece it together?
As oblivious as this guy is, I don't think there's any piecing it together, but I think he was a little embarrassed. So
Okay.
yeah.
well,
I think it matters how many times it's happened to.
Right, because, look, all of my friends have probably done that, and it's okay, because I'm sure I've done it to them, but if I can count on the fact that every time I see you, you're going to, like, puke all over it and think, okay, man, like, we can't.
Well, the fact that you're there all day and you're not willing to even say, hey, sorry, and where's a towel and some 409,
now, are you still living with roommates?
Yeah, same roommates, different house.
Okay. Here's what happens when you get older. Let's just say you find someone, you meet them, you decide you want to live together, blah, 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 right? Then you will have couple friends. And couple friends come over. Now, there are a couple friends I know for a fact. Let's just say that we say, all right, dinner's at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Okay? Do a little pre-funk, have some drinks, you know what I mean? Have some appetizers. Dinner served at 6:30. Clean up around 8. 9 o'clock rolls around. Let's just assume that the two ladies are friends. And the two guys, they're all right. Yeah, they're just
Sure.
but this is the couple that won't leave. Like,
Right.
we should watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, it's 9:30. I'm still kind of just cleaning up here. It's getting late. You've
But
been
there's
here
a
since
difference.
5.
There's a difference, though.
And now, and it's not that I don't want to invite them over or do not like their company. They just don't exit. You
But
know what I'm
there's
saying?
a difference. Couple friends, I don't have a problem with. But there are some friends of my wife that are also married where perhaps that's when they, like, couple friends, like the women tend to go off, the guys go off, and you don't realize how late it's gotten because you're all doing your own thing.
Sure,
right?
and that's
Like,
fine.
I like those couple friends. And then there are people where it's like, this is my wife's friend, and they happen to be married.
Have you seen
That's
this
a
show
little
yet?
different.
No, let's watch the first episode and see if we can get hooked into it because I know you're going to love it.
All right,
And the
so
next
I'm
thing
with
you know-
Thrill. Like, there's definitely times for, like, I've stayed, but, like, generally I'm drinking with somebody or smoking a little doja.
Yeah.
But you're right. I wouldn't sit there if I was dating a girl and be like, do you want to lock into an hour-long TV show? That sounds boring.
Well, that would have those. You're probably driving someplace. They know you're going to crash the night. That's why you're drinking in the first place. You're not going to Uber it home. It's not a big deal. This is just a couple coming over for dinner. Now it's 11:15, 11:30. I'm starting to get tired. I'm like, when are they leaving? Surely.
Yeah, and the pre-planned dinner outside of a holiday, to me, is never that fun. Because there's always a couple there you don't want to be there. Whereas opposed to, like, generally if I'm going to hang out with another couple, it's like, no, I'll see you at the bar.
Yeah.
Or we'll meet you at a restaurant.
Just can't do that anymore. Animal acquaintance or a family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
You can't have them anywhere.
Hey, man, look, changes once you have kids. Then it's like, please, let's have dinner together, because when we do this, all of our kids leave us alone. Right. They will all go in the basement and they will all play together. And if no one is bleeding or dying or whatever, they don't hassle you because they're having a good time too. And we can just sit around and drink. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, that's the hookup. So it's like, instead of getting a babysitter, I'll tell you what, why don't we all just get together, let them do their thing, and we get blisteringly drunk. They recognize that we're having a good time. And kids generally are smart enough to recognize, hey, our parents are having a good time. And for us to continue to have a good time, let's not bother them. Like, it's unspoken, but it works like a freaking charm, man. Trust me.
No, you're right.
I work that detail a lot.
Yeah, hanging out with my cousins.
Tell them to come over.
Right, like the last thing you wanted to do was go upstairs. Yeah. You stayed in the basement, you hung out down there, you could have fun and play games.
And it has not changed, man. That's why I say, no, please invite them over. Please invite them over. Hello, Ruben. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, I've been listening to you guys. You're from Baltimore, and I spent 2 years in Baltimore working. And I got me a row house apartment, and the rats were so bad in that area. It was Curtis Bay, Baltimore.
Oh, God. You're not even... I was getting ready to say...
Those are the wharf rats.
It doesn't matter where you live in Baltimore. The rats are bad, but you're right. Curtis Bay, a little above and beyond what rats need to be. And you said were you in the same apartment for 2 years?
Yeah, for 2 years. It was like a row house, so we had an alley in the back of the house and an actual street in the front. There was no deck on the front of the house. There was a deck on the back of the house. It was like a 6 foot by 4 foot deck. So
yeah, just
in the
enough
evenings,
to
I'd
smoke.
get home from work.
Right.
These rats were just infesting the whole neighborhood, and they're so smart. I've seen them chew through fresh concrete.
Yeah, people don't believe us when we explain it. The rats there are different.
You, as soon as they turn the street lights on, if you were to go back into an alley and look around, you've got 100 pairs of eyes staring you down.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you can see them everywhere. You're just like, you could never see them in the day. As soon as the lights go out, man, and then the street lights come on, they are out for the evening.
What I did appreciate about the Baltimore rat, though, most animals, you can boo, 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 and they run away. They looked at you like, what are you going to do, man?
Didn't you pick one up out of a trash can one night?
I picked it by accident. I accidentally I've just heard, can you take the trash out? Yes, because I'm going to take the dog out for a walk. Where's the trash? It's in a blue bag by the front door. I grab the blue bag by the front door. I go into the alley. I drop it in the trash can. I walk the dog. No big deal. Get back in the house. Why didn't you take the trash out? I'm like, I did. So which blue bag did you grab? The one by the door. And then I look and I realize there is another blue bag, but it's on the other side of the door. What did I just throw away? And of course, my favorite towel. And of course, it's a big beach towel, Winnie the Pooh, because that's what all adults should have. Anyway, this is the favorite towel. Hey, can you go out there and get my towel back? No problem. Go back outside. Same situation as him. You live in a row house apartment. Walk outside, go back to the alley. But it's nighttime, so I just stick my hand in the trash can. I was just there 5 minutes ago, so it's got to be up top, right? I put my hand in. I feel the softness of the towel. I pick up the towel, and it is not the towel. It is a rat, right? So we look at each other, and it's about like a 1 Mississippi of just dead silence because you're trying to comprehend that I'm holding a rat in my hand. But the rat's even looking at me kind of the same way, like,
why did you wake me up?
What is this crazy son of a bitch doing? I was on this. So I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, my dog just sits down. He doesn't care one way or another, but you kind of scream. The rat kind of screams, and you just instinctively throw this thing. I don't know how far it went, probably a good 15 feet, whatever. Come back in, handshaking, had her goddamn towel back, but like I'm just washing the hell out of my hands. Like, what's wrong? I'm like, I picked up a goddamn rat. It was not your towel, but how'd you do
Wash
that?
the towel.
I didn't do it on purpose. Again, it was dark. I stuck my hand in the trash can, and there's the rat.
Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jay. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
How you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Oh, yeah, just lovely.
Okay. So who do you hope never visits your home again?
My ex-girlfriend broke into my house 2 times within a month.
What? Why?
Yeah. Well, the first time, she was stealing back her plants so that she could break up with me officially and I wouldn't kill them.
Hey, just a plant.
Bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
So, heck yeah, you would.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, what, is she really into her plants?
Oh, yeah. She's really into her plants.
So she was setting up the breakup by by sneaking in, so she wasn't living with you.
But wait, why were her plants at your place?
Because she moved a couple states over.
All right. So she's living with you at the time. So she really didn't sneak in, did she?
Well, she had a key. She was living in an apartment at the time. And then she just spent time at both places.
Okay.
And I had changed out the locks, and I went to an electric lock because I got tired of getting too drunk to get into my house, and so I put an electric lock in. And I had programmed her a code, but she just had to call me and ask me for it. But apparently kicking down the door is a better idea.
She kicked down the door and just took her plants.
Yep. And she had my dog out to go pee, so that was good.
All right.
Well, at least there's that much.
And was your door off the hinges? Was the lock broke? What was the deal on it?
No, so there's 2 doors that go into my house, and the one that had the electronic lock is too sturdy. And so she broke the one going into the basement, and then actually ended up going through a window and stepping on my dryer that's downstairs and then letting herself in through the basement door.
Also, she could just get her plants back.
Oh, yeah.
And then after this happens, I'm assuming you guys break up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then why would she break in then the second time?
So the second time she broke in so that she could come up into my room, get naked, and crawl into bed.
I hope you kicked her out.
Wouldn't she have called and just asked for the door code then, since you offered that to her?
Well, I deleted it at that point. So, yeah, but she came in and she actually guessed my door code. I don't know how it's possible.
Because she dated you.
Yeah, she knows your PIN number.
Right.
Too.
I mean, it's just...
Okay, so were you asleep when she came in your room?
Yes. I was more surprised by anything, the fact that somebody could break into my house without me knowing.
Well, there's a good chance somebody who does that could also get shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
especially in my house.
Okay, so she crawls into bed with you. She's naked.
Yeah.
You're asleep. Then what happens?
I asked her, what are the words I can't say again? I asked her what the heck she was doing and told her to get the heck out. And then she told me that she was drunk and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So I let her do her thing and kicked her out the next morning.
All right, so I was going to say, even though you say she broke in twice, the second time that she broke in, you had sex.
We did not, actually, believe it or not. I just switched into another relationship and didn't want to screw that one up, too.
Okay.
Plus, that is just too crazy. You did the right thing. Somebody breaks into your house, shows up like that. Don't do anything with them.
I do not care how well you know them.
Yeah.
Do not
that
do
is
it.
a trap.
Even in COVID times?
Even in COVID times.
Okay.
That's even worse. I'll be breathing on me.
Well, what if she broke in, she's naked,
she just wants to have sex with you, Ted.
She has a mask.
No, I'm dead serious. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've seen this story.
You have seen it. You've heard this before.
Something similar. It ends.
I have too.
You're going to get in trouble.
Well, because your buddy, that's the thing. You have to tell them in advance. So you're not going to guess what happened. They kind of go through the story, and it's like, bro, you just opened up a whole can of crazy.
Just more craziness down the road?
Yes. That's a guarantee.
You don't know. This is a crazy person. I know you used to date them, but now they're naked in your bed. Who knows the next morning if they're going to have the same story?
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Get that psycho out of your house.
But they came into my house.
Mm-hmm. Still.
And they were naked.
Get them out.
Right.
I mean, shoot yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to think this through.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Okay, I believe you.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not do it.
I'm just thinking that's never happened to me. What if that happened?
Well, it doesn't happen to most people. I'm just saying, because that's insane.
Just the idea of having a naked person in my bed, I'm like, how do I say no?
Damn it.
Right.
Give me a minute.
I'm not going to have to use morals here. You kidding me? Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Top Gun Maverick is the #1 movie in the world.
Damn right.
It's an absolute blast from start to finish, and one of the greatest movies ever made.
Having any fun yet?
Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick, rated PG-13.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Here's a bizarre story, and two people you would never want to have in your house again. We go to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Spencer John Payne and Cedric Michael Sims were arraigned in connection in 2 violent home invasions.
Oh, boy.
According to authorities, the 2 men are accused of breaking into 2 homes and tying up and threatening the occupants. Police said it happened at 3 a.m. at 2 different homes, one on Sharon Drive and one on Macomb Street. They're still investigating who directed them to the homes, as they believe the houses were actually targeted. Police say in the home on Macomb Street, the family, a single father with 3 children, ages 5, 13, and 17, were tied up with electrical cords and clothing around their hands and their feet. Authorities said the 2 men realized then they were in the wrong home, made a phone call, and then went to the house next door on Sharon Drive. Police said the family was threatened with death if they called the police. Then at about 4 a.m., police said they broke into the house next door, where they found 9 people inside, ranging from the ages of 3 to 62. None of those victims were tied up, but they were led around at gunpoint, according to police. Authorities said the 2 stole a backpack, money, and electronics, and demanded the driver's license of victims from both homes and warned them not to call the police. Still, someone in that house called the police.
Because that's what people are going to do.
Police said the 2 men then went back to the first home.
The single father with the 3 kids.
Apologized to the father and the 3 kids, untied the father and kids, and told him, we're sorry, we had the wrong house. Residents found different places to stay until the 2 suspects were apprehended by police, but they did. They went into the dad and the kids and said, we're really sorry. This had nothing to do with you. We got our addresses screwed up. We're at the wrong house. We didn't mean to break in. We didn't mean to tie you up. Please just don't call police. We're going to get out of here. The pair were charged with 16 felony counts, including armed robbery, home invasion, unlawful imprisonment, and more. They were both given $500,000 bond and are being held in the Ingham County Jail.
I mean, look, they're not good dudes. I appreciate the fact they at least offered up an apology before there. You know, most people say, I'm sorry about so-and-so because they've been caught and the public knows, right? Mm-hmm. At least these guys like, hey, look, man, our bad. We got our addresses screwed up, man. It was a house around the corner.
Sure. One of the reasons that they were caught, because the second house that they broke into between the ages of 2 and 62, the 9 people in that home, when they left, they called 911 and called the police.
Right.
Now, if the 2 robbers who broke in would have just taken off, gotten in their car, and driven away then, they might not have been apprehended. But for the fact that both of them felt so guilty that they tied up the family and went to the wrong home, they went back into the neighbor's house for another 5 to 10 minutes to apologize, untie the dad, and that's when they were busted by the cops.
Does it seem weird that people that are willing to do that in the first place, tie you up at gunpoint, even with little kids, right, that there's still some whiff of moral compass like, hey, man, before we make our big escape, we really need to go apologize.
We made a mistake.
I mean, it's kind of a funny one because you're right. Like they still tied up a family, but then we're like, I feel bad about it.
Man, you really weren't
the wrong people
we meant to tie up, potentially pistol whip and threaten your life. Yeah, all that, man. Our bad. We didn't mean to do it.
Sorry.
That's just like, so wait a minute.
Don't call the cops.
You willingly go in there and threaten to kill someone, but if you threaten the wrong person, you will take the time to apologize.
Gotta have a code.
Mm-hmm. Animal acquaintance or a family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
IPAs lead the three-ways.
Hola.
So my story starts out that I was sleeping in commando style in the bed about 2:30 in the morning. My current master bathroom is being remodeled, so I got to get up and go down the hallway and use the restroom. Finish business, come out the door, start walking back the long hallway back to my master bedroom, and up the stairs comes flying a bat, turns the corner, and heads right to my face. I have to drop to the ground, otherwise it was going to hit me, and then I had to go trap it in my son's room, go put on some boxers, and try to catch it.
How, what did you think would be something that you could use to catch the bat?
I'm going to guess a laundry basket.
Pillowcase.
Okay.
All right. Not a bad idea. Okay. And did it work out?
It did at the end, yeah, and my oldest son, who's now 18, didn't even wake up through the whole process. I just shut the door with the bat in there, went and got my shorts on and got a pillowcase and grabbed it.
To be 18, because that's about the age you sleep through crap like that.
I need to ask you, how did the master bath turn out?
Really nice, actually. And when we got it finished, we ended up selling the house, and we ended up moving out here about 7 years ago.
Okay. What did that cost you back then to redo a bathroom?
Oh, it was a tiny one. It was almost like a hotel. You walked right into the where you'd wash your hands, and then to your left was a pocket door for the closet, and to your right was a pocket door for the shower and the
Okay. They're not
toilet.
cheap. When you do that, it's not cheap.
No, it is not a cheap thing. That's why I haven't done that.
I'll never forget the time that I woke up in the middle of the night and I told my parents, there is a bat in my room.
Mm-hmm.
They did not believe me.
Parents
this goes
don't.
on for weeks at a time. There's no bat in this house.
Wait, this went on for weeks?
Weeks.
Mine was like 10 minutes.
No, but
this
it
went
did
on
not,
for weeks.
It did not. It only was in my room for whatever reason, and we could not figure out how the hell this thing got in. Trust me, I'm terrified. I do not want to sleep in there.
Did you hear it like every night?
I heard it occasionally. I knew that if I just put my head under the covers that everything would be okay. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I waited until daylight because I knew, just based on what I knew about vampires, that when the light came, that they would go
Wait,
away.
how old?
I'm like 6.
Okay, all right. So I'm 15.
So at one point in time, in the middle of the night, the light switch goes on. I look up, and there's my stepfather.
All right.
And he is wielding a yellow wiffle ball bat of mine, which is basically a plastic fungo bat.
Right.
You know, not a lot of strength behind it. It's like, matter of fact, if I cracked you over the back with a wiffle ball bat, you probably wouldn't even feel it.
Wouldn't even bug you.
Yeah,
You're talking about the official wiffle ball bat.
the official wiffle ball bat, right? So he starts swinging that thing. He misses like crazy. Not the most athletic guy in the world. Baseball, it's not his game, right? The thing is still flying around. I'm freaking out. I'm watching it fly. He takes off out of the room. Now, he comes back. One of the things that he was enjoying as a hobby at that point in time, tennis.
Okay.
All right? So he had like 4 or 5 Spalding or Wilson tennis rackets.
Yes, you know, wooden ones?
The old wooden ones, right? So he comes back into my room with his tennis racket. And I will never forget the sound the racket made when it hit that bat, and then the bat hit my wall, because it sounded just like tennis.
Sure,
it did. It didn't change the sound of anything. It was like a forearm, a forehand, and then into the wall, like boom, boom. Like if you're playing, tennis against the wall by yourself. That's basically what it sounded.
He hit
like.
it flush.
Oh, he did. Knocked the living bejesus out of that.
Yeah.
thing. And he picked it up, threw it out the window, and that was the end of that.
My father, it was only about a 10-minute process, but again, he did not believe us, whatever the case. I remember him opening the door, and then he runs, it's a goddamn bat. We're like, man, that's what we were telling you. It's a bat. He said, look, because at that point he had bought a pellet gun. So he just said, look, it's going to sleep when the sun comes up. And he was right. So we went and slept in a different room. But the next day he gets up, opens the door. It's in the corner. It's hanging upside down. Took his pellet gun, shot it. You don't see the pellet hit it, but you see the bat split in 2 pieces, drop to the floor. And as my father said after he killed anything, and keep in mind, I'm talking insects and this bat. I guess he's going to go to bat heaven. If he killed a fly, guess he's going to fly heaven. Steps on an ant, he's going to ant heaven. Like, yeah, we know. But yeah, no tennis racket. But at this point, the neighborhood was getting hit with bats. Turns out there was an old school across the street. They were converting it into apartments. And none of us realized there were a bunch of bats in there because they've been abandoned since we had lived there. But they started doing construction, the bats flying around. Because all of a sudden, like, all of the neighbors had bats. But I do remember about 2 weeks after my father shot this bat, one of our neighbors lived 2 houses down. He knocks on the door, and when I opened the door, I knew this guy, but when I opened the door, same thing. He has a tennis racket in one hand and a football helmet on. Right? I mean, one of those cheap-ass plastic ones you'd buy for a little kid kind of thing. And I'm like, you have bats? He's like, yes, I have bats. He wanted something like a catcher's mitt, something else to go deal with the bat. But that was everybody's go-to was the tennis racket.
The bat, turns out, came through a dumbwaiter that was in my room.
You had a dumbwaiter in your room?
I did. The guy who built the house before us, I guess he took care of either his wife's parents or his mom and dad.
Okay.
But they lived up in the bedroom that I lived in. And I guess one of them was handicapped.
Okay.
So as far as the steps go, like there's no elevators in homes or anything like that.
How many times did you get in that dumbwaiter?
You couldn't physically get in the dumbwaiter. It was close, but you couldn't lower yourself just based on where the ropes were on the unit. But there was a hole on the outside, and the bats were sitting up on the inside of the dumbwaiter. There wasn't just one bat. It turns out there was like 4 or 5.
Oh, good.
Did you guys never use the dumbwaiter?
I used it all the time. All my toys went downstairs in the kitchen. I mean, everything.
Sure.
I mean, it was fun. I just lower them down in there, then run down and pick them up, and then, you know what I mean?
Oddly enough, I've only lived in one house that had a dumbwaiter. Same thing. It was an old-ass house, had a dumbwaiter, and that was the house with
It's
the bat.
basically a rope. You know what I mean? On 2 pulleys.
Yeah.
So you just pull the rope up and down, and there's a tray in there, and it basically shuffles up everything.
I'm always amazed. You ever go to a restaurant that's like on like the second floor of something?
Yeah, they put all your food on that thing.
Right. You don't really think about it until you see them open that thing and they pull the food out of the dumbwaiter, and you're like, that makes sense. I've never seen any of them on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. By the way, we were talking about you had the story of the 2 guys broke into the wrong house, threatened a single father and his 3 kids at gunpoint.
Yep.
It was the wrong house. They came back later to apologize and all this. And I thought that was ridiculous. So someone just says, Thrill, quote, I apologize for kidnapping you and putting you in my closet. Please don't call the police. I blame tequila. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's worth an apology.
I didn't even think about that.
But he was already in my home.
Well, you did kidnap him.
I know I kidnapped
Allegedly.
him. I allegedly kidnapped him, but I did apologize.
I guess the only difference in that case is, though, it's not like you went out and allegedly kidnapped somebody else.
Right. We weren't looking for anyone in particular.
Right.
As it was explained to me by my buddy Leon, he was on the street, and we just thought it would be funny. And he may or may not have been right. I do not remember the moment we snagged him. I just remember discovering him in my closet.
The greatest tragedy of that story is just the waste of pepperoni.
I know, between his toes, for no reason. People, why'd you do that? I don't know. We already kidnapped a man. It kind of doesn't matter at that point.
One day he's going to write an essay. It's going to be like in Vanity Fair. And you're going to go like, I know that story.
Oh, that's him.
Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
We go to an Orioles game? No, I'm never going back to that city.
Just as soon as he's done with his therapist. Hello, Harrison. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Bichola.
Hola.
How's it going, boys?
Doing great, man. Thanks, brother.
So when I was about 3rd grade, my dad's good friend brought over what he said was a squirrel that he caught in his Christmas tree. And he accidentally grabbed it by the tail and ripped its tail off.
Ooh.
Turns out it was a hamster. My mom comes back up from Safeway, and she is pissed off. My dad's best friend brought over a hamster, so now we have a hamster, and it turns out it got a tumor on its leg, chewed its leg off, and died in his cage.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You got the worst hamster ever, man.
Yeah, never invite Rick to your house is all I got to say.
Rick? Is that what you said?
So the hamster
Rick's
survived getting his tail ripped off?
No, the guy lied and said he'd ripped it. But the hamster did have
He
problems.
said it was a squirrel, but it was not a squirrel. It was a hamster he bought at the store and brought it over while my mom was out grocery shopping on Christmas Eve.
Now, did he, bring this over as a gift for you?
He brought it over as a gag gift to make my mom upset.
And this is your dad's friend?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. I guess they had a fun relationship together then?
For many, many, many years. And, yeah.
Does Rick still come around? That sounds like a type of guy you'll see on the holidays.
I randomly ran into him the other day dumping off some greenery at the disposal place at Mallard's in Oak Harbor, and I called him old man. He looked up at me, almost bit my face off because he didn't know who I was.
What, he just didn't recognize you from back in the day?
I called him old man, and he wasn't happy about that. And then I said, "It's Harrison," and he looked up and he said, "Come on down here, man. I haven't seen you forever." And give a big old hug, even though it's coronavirus season.
Yeah, and that's when Rick gave me COVID. He gave me a hamster with no leg and no tail, and he gave me COVID-19 as an adult.
Yeah, he's going to eat his own leg off now soon.
Okay.
Yeah, man, there's something about you're taking a gamble if you buy a living creature for someone else's kid.
Oh, I would never do that.
No, but I mean, unless I really hated you. Yeah. Hey, I got your kid a kitten.
Here, a tarantula for your daughter, Steve.
Exactly.
She'll love it, you know?
She might. That's the problem. She might.
Well, she would love it.
And I'd be like, it must have escaped. Seems like there's a lot of blood in there. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Speaking about animals in your home that you bring in and welcome, a wildlife rehabilitation specialist from upstate New York has brought a beaver into her home after it was found abandoned as a baby last May. The rodent in question, named Beeve, was taken in by the woman who works for a rescue organization, Raising the Wild. She's since set to work teaching the little guy how to do the kind of things he needs to know before he can be released into the wild. That's
I've seen Beeve.
Well, you have to teach a beaver how to be a beaver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's always Beeve. He's always being a beaver.
Yes. Unfortunately for her, rehabbing a baby beaver involves dealing with an animal that instinctively grabs nearby objects, anything in sight, to build dams.
They're known for that, yeah.
Yeah, fortunately for us, she's been documenting Beeve doing just that on TikTok. Despite having access to non-household items that he can practice damming with, Beeve has an insatiable desire to steal shoes, pillows, stuffed animals that look like other beavers, kid-sized furniture, and whatever else he can find. For whatever reason, the dude is also crazy about bathrooms and toilet plungers. It's not all just constant destruction. Sometimes Beeve is content to just swim in the bathtub or pull on a stick while grunting like a congested baby. And sometimes he's happy to eat a snack next to a dog or take an adorable snooze, they say, which has the added benefit of slowing down his dam building. But as soon as he wakes up, that's the first thing that they do. They are right back to building dams. That's all they do.
And she's got like a little fake pond in the backyard for him now.
He practices his swimming all day, and he practices building dams. That's all beavers do.
That's it.
And I'm pretty sure he sleeps in the bathroom, like on the tile floor or something.
Woman raising Beeve says in one video that she knew what she was getting into, but felt it had no choice other than to take the beaver in, since the pandemic hasn't left her with other rehab options. But either way, she is bringing the Beeve back to life, and Beeve should be good here within a few weeks.
You should
released into the wild.
Look him up. It's pretty funny. Just because like he's moving at one point he's like moving full chairs in the kitchen and stuff. And she was saying he doesn't actually like use his teeth. He just to bite through them. He just uses his teeth to move stuff around.
So I understand he's going to build a dam in the pond. It's water, makes sense. Is it just his natural inclination to put a bunch of objects together?
To collect all these things,
to like block your doorway or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's constantly what you're dealing with.
And that's what beavers do. They never stop working. If they dam up a stream, all right, they'll dam up and they'll make one beaver hole. They'll make one pond. Then they will go up from that and do the same thing again. They will ladder all the way up to the top so that they have 4 or 5 different pools. One of those pools will determine that they're going to raise their kids in.
Sure.
But for the most part, the other nests are just to trap fish, to trap any kind of wildlife, and to be able to have a place to swim because they want more pool. They want as much pool as they can get. So if they can't live in a lake, they cascade down the entire creek. And basically you'll have like 8 pools that all step down.
It's like belongs to one beaver family.
And it is,
it's like Monopoly.
It's precision on the tree dropping.
Seriously.
You cannot believe how accurate it is. There's not one tree that has fell that has not been placed
now, let me
exactly
ask you this.
where that thing needs to go.
Is it like people where there'll be 3 beavers, 2 of them are doing nothing, and there's only one actually felling the tree?
All I can tell you is this. If you get near that and you get in that pool, because we used to go swimming in some of those holes, the mother beaver will come down immediately and attack you.
Sure, man.
I mean,
you got kids.
There's no stopping them. I mean, they are...
I think this is true of all mammals. If you mess with the mammal's kid and mama sees you messing with the kid, mama is on you.
It's also, that's why I had to stop moonshining. Beavers kept damming up my creek.
Yeah.
That's why you stopped.
Animal acquaintance or family member, who do you hope never visits your home again? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.